If you are looking for ways to combine these models in interesting ways, like for example, the architect with the coder model, the Aider project maintains a polyglot benchmark. Then you can, in this, if you go to the web page, you can see all of them. That's the most expensive one, O3 Pro from OpenAI of like $146. But there's some in there that go into the pennies to actually complete the benchmark and actually, may score in a 10 to 20% success rate. So that's kind of an interesting way of keeping track of which models are kind of best at certain kinds of tasks. And this is just one data point that people should probably be aware of that most people don't see. And next slide here. We did put a quick tool comparison here. The slides are up on GitHub. If you go to the 6vf.org on GitHub, you can see the source code for this. So if you wanted to come back to these points that Travis and I put in here later, it's all up there on there. There's just a quick tool comparison slide to show it off everything we just talked about. So we don't have to belabor that point. If there's any questions, I think we may want to get to that. If you keep going, I think there's not a single assistant for everybody. I think what we showed 5 different tools that operate in 5 different ways, even though they may sound similar. We use For our team, they use 2 to 3 of those on a daily basis on an ongoing process. Like they're not just in one only. So I think actually focusing on one might be a mistake, and having multiple in your arsenal is actually a really good direction to go. I do find the open source tools are catching up fast. I do love Goose a lot and Aider a lot, and I think that they give Claude Code and Cursor and Devin probably a good run for the money. So I recommend people trying them out. That last slide should just be our contact info if people want to get a hold of Travis or I. And I think we got enough time to take probably one question. So I don't know, Pio, you got a really good one for us?
Oh, we covered there's a few around cost planning, right? So what's the best practice around, minimizing token spend while you're doing that explore mode? And then there's another one that was around security. So where is that? I'd like to hear about experiences where AI generated code inadvertently creates a security flaw. So
I've seen it, definitely. I'll talk about the tokens thing though. Each of these tools are going to consume tokens in different ways. Watch your dashboards for token consumption. Some of the tools have smart ways of like summarizing and compressing your context windows as you go. So, and you may want to manage that yourself too. Some of them allow you to say like slash summarize and basically compress the current context down so you aren't sending as many tokens back and forth. Aider may be one of the most efficient ones out there as far as token usage because of the diff format. It tries to be smart about what it sends across the wire and not send whole files, depending on which models you're using. I don't know if Travis, you had anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I find that, I mean, well, monitoring token cost is important. I carry a personal license as well to Cursor, and I have it on like just spend, and I maybe spend $50 a month, like poking around, exploring, doing these projects. So, be mindful, but don't make it a limiting factor, especially if you're new to the tool. Just explore and kind of get familiar and comfortable, and then maybe lend an eye to being a little bit more
But if
cautious.
you're getting that much value out of these tools, like for example, we have a Claude Code project that's heavily driven in Claude Code where we use multiple parallel Claudes going at once. And then we may spend a couple $1,000s a month on API tokens for that project, but it's totally worth it. Like the amount of time saved is unbelievable compared to what the cost of those tokens are.
Absolutely. I mean, there's for tooling that makes you that much more effective, it's
Right.
totally worth the
It's
investment
totally worth it.
every time.
And I guess then on the security side, I would make sure you've got a good CI/CD pipeline set up that has maybe even some pre-commit hooks using security tools like static code analysis tools, etc., against your code to watch for common mistakes because these tools will make the most common of common mistakes. Don't trust them. Watch them closely. Put automated tools to make sure they've got guardrails, and then because they're trained against the worldwide code base of every developer ever who threw something random on GitHub, for example, which is not always good.
Yeah, absolutely, Kelvin. To that point, like this little weather MCP I spun up, like I didn't put some of the security checks in it to begin with, and when I did, it picked up, a handful of really common mistakes, and it fixed them, and I was able to use the existing kind of automation around CI/CD and pre-commit hooks to just make it a lot more robust.
Yeah.
experience.
Awesome. Well, I think with that, we'll wrap up. We're only 2 minutes over. Not bad on timing. Thank you, Travis, and the folks from Eighth Light for being here and helping me present the Battle of the Bots. I think it was pretty successful. Awesome questions. I may have to go review the questions. If people want to hit me up on LinkedIn with any of those questions, I can make little videos to answer all of them too. I'm sure, Travis, you do the same. He's actually got a really good blog. I've been reading your stuff recently, so I'll give you a shout out and make sure you follow Travis on LinkedIn and his personal blog.
Thank you, Kelvin. Today's been a blast. I really enjoyed doing this with you, and maybe we can do it again sometime.